Joining us now to tell us what he thinks about the new plan is Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist. Wow, join the fire, Grover, come on and jump in.
Yeah.
Is this real reform or is it Obamacare Lite? What do you think?
Well, it starts by eliminating $1 trillion of taxes. There are 20 million Americans whose health savings accounts have been taxed by Obamacare. That goes away. 30 to 35 million Americans whose flexible savings accounts were attacked by Obamacare. That goes away. 10 million Americans with high health care costs who were penalized for having high health care costs. That goes away. There are a tremendous number of taxes that disappear, that are abolished here, and it block grants Medicaid out to the states. That has been a conservative Ronald Reagan idea since 1971. This is not only this is the first step in fixing the mess that is our healthcare system.
It's a first step also in perhaps a political process. I mean, obviously the House has to reconcile this with whatever the Senate has, and as you well know, because nobody knows how this process works as well as you do, there are 3 senators now in the GOP who are against it. Of course, Rand Paul, we had on last Friday. Ted Cruz is against it, and so is Mike Lee. That's all they need to stop this from passing. They're going to need those 3 senators, or at least 2 of those senators, on board in order to pass it. So how, in this bargaining stage between what we have now, this bill now, and what the Senate wants, what these 3 senators want, who's going to get what?
Look, something very similar to this is going to pass. It was designed with Senate input as well as House input. Many of the people complaining now had input over the last 7, 8 years. This did not happen in the last 24 hours. This legislation has been coming together for a number of years now. The president and his team have had input into it going back before the election was over. So this is a well-thought-out proposal. Yes, it's the first step, but it is a huge first step.
It is a big first step, but I have to press you on this, Grover, very quickly. The tax credits. Yeah. What's going to change in tax credits? The Freedom Caucus says there's subsidies, that tax credits go to people who don't pay taxes. That would be the definition of a subsidy. Do they remain?
Those will stay through. Rand Paul's plan has similar tax credits. So you're going to see that in almost any plan.
Grover, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Grover Norquist. Melissa.